We all know that gas prices are really high right now. They're about 70-ish pesos per liter for both gas and diesel. But this is where these kinds of vehicles shine, the hybrids. This is the Chery Tiggo 8 Pro E Plus PHEV, and we'll find out today if it's worth its 2.7 million peso price tag. So the Chery Tiggo 8 Pro E Plus is quintessentially a crossover SUV with its broad front end and sleek LED headlights along with LED daytime running lights. You also get this massive grille, which is functional by the way, and more silver accents here, and a little bit of chrome here for that premium feel. So moving over to the side, well, you get these 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in 235/55 series tires, which I think could have been a little bit bigger, maybe 19s or 20s to really fill up the wheel well of this car. But that's really about it, and you do get this charging port here when you want to charge the battery up via the charger. You get chrome accents here, a roof rail here, and of course repeaters on the side mirror. I can't show you this now, but later when we bring the car into a rather dark spot, there is a light that appears every time the car unlocks that says Tiggo right about here. Moving over to the back, you get these gorgeous LED taillights, which kind of look like it's from a Porsche. Of course, the Chery logo up there, badging here, and of course, you can't miss the fact that it's a hybrid because people look for this when the car is coding exempt, which it really is. Anyway, when you open her up, you're looking at, well, a decent amount of space thanks to the power tailgate. And well, seating for 7 here, which kind of limits the cargo space. Of course, you have a little cubby hole down here to store your included charger, and of course your tire repair kit, because unfortunately this does not come with a spare tire. Okay, so now we're in the back of the Chery Tiggo, the third row per se, and it's a little bit tight for somebody of small stature like myself. I'm 5'4", and I really don't get much space back here. As you can see, my feet are kind of under the chair and my knees are touching the back row. But you don't really get a lot back here aside from a light, cup holders on either side, which is good enough for a small bottle like this. And really, that's about it. Now, if you're in the second row and you want to be generous with, well, the passengers in the back, you can slide the seats a little bit forward to give them more room. Aside from that though, you really don't get a lot aside from lights up here on either side, your own controls for the climate controls, and a USB port down here. And well, you do get a center armrest that does come with cup holders. So the front is where the party is at with the Chery Tiggo, because you get two 12.3-inch displays. One is for your instrument cluster here, and the other is for your infotainment system. Aside from that, you get swathes of leather all around, and of course power seats with a memory function and ventilation as well to keep you cool in the hot sun. Also, you do get automatic climate controls, which come with their own unique touchscreen down here along with an ion filter. There is also individual controls for, well, the left and the right for the driver and the front passenger, and you do get, well, drive modes down here, which is normal and of course sport right now, which activates the engine. Of course, you also do have controls for your hybrid electric vehicle mode and your EV mode, which shuts down the gasoline engine. And before I forget, it does come with voice command feature like this.
What's up?
Open sunshade.
Okay, it's open.
Which opens the sunshade if you wanted to do. The headrests actually do move back and forth to make it a little bit more comfortable. Anyway, let's go out for a drive, but before we do that, let me show you what's under the hood. So under the hood, you are looking at a 1.5 liter, well, that's just mostly plastic, but underneath here is a 1.5 liter turbocharged gasoline engine mated to 2 electric motors as the hybrid drive system of the Chery Tiggo. Together, they produce 320 horsepower and 540 Newton meters of torque. As for its fuel efficiency, well, you're looking at around 12 to 13 in the city, and of course around 16 to 23 on the highway, which isn't bad actually for a plug-in hybrid. Okay, so now we're driving the Tiggo 8 Pro E Plus in EV mode, and it's a very quiet experience. You don't really feel the lack of power while in EV mode, and everything is very smooth. Take note though that it does come with its own dedicated transmission, so there really isn't much shifting action going on. And if you keep it below 20% power when accelerating, you will be rewarded with really good fuel economy. And by really good fuel economy, I mean the car displays that you're doing about 50 kilometers per liter when in EV mode. So now we are in HEV mode, or the hybrid vehicle mode. And well, the engine is now turned on, which gives you a little bit more noise, a little bit more harshness, a little bit more vibrations that can be felt into the cabin, because of course it's a gasoline engine. But that does come with the benefit of giving you a little bit more power when you need it, because it also helps power the car forward while charging the battery at the same time, which is a good thing, because if you're stuck in traffic, or let's say you're already cruising on the highway like we are, it gives the motor the chance to charge the battery and give you extra EV range when you get stuck in traffic and you want to use EV mode. But because this is a turbocharged gasoline engine, I don't recommend flooring it, because if you do, you will automatically wheel spin the car. But if you do want to feel a bit of a rush, then I suggest only going to about 1/4 throttle, like so. So while we're still driving around and at a stoplight, I forgot to mention that this 12-inch infotainment system does come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto on the side, and a wireless charger somewhere down here, which is a nice place for storage and is technically a cubby hole. Anyway, now the light is green. Let's talk about how the car handles. This car is a little bit heavy. Well, not a little bit, but it is a heavy vehicle. And because Chery wanted it to be comfortable, they kind of tuned the suspension to be soft. So when you accelerate, the car tends to squat a little bit, which can be uncomfortable for some passengers. But aside from that, its side-to-side movement is smooth, and the suspension setup easily manages the extra weight of the vehicle because of, well, the battery pack at the back. Aside from that, noise, harshness, and vibration is decent, but you do hear the engine from time to time, especially when you're in traffic and you're charging up the battery. So the idle noise can get a little bit of annoyance, but the car does come with a 10-speaker Sony sound system, which will help drown out the drone. Okay, I know 2.7 million is a bit of an ask for a plug-in hybrid like this, but you have to bear in mind that other plug-in hybrids such as the Outlander, the Mitsubishi Outlander, is priced roughly in the same price bracket. However, the Chery Tiggo does come with a lower variant, which is also a PHEV. Now it produces a little bit less horsepower, but it is priced at 2.5 million. So, to sum it up, is it worth it? Yes, if you're looking for a plug-in hybrid that can save you fuel. I mean, this car can travel 75 kilometers on EV mode alone, which is good enough for your daily commute. And you have the option of charging this as well at your house or at a mall to save you some, well, extra cash on the side. But if you're not yet ready to invest in this kind of technology, and if it overwhelms you, I don't think it could be a perfect fit for you. But if you are looking for something like this, which is a decent 7-seater, then yeah, it's a pretty good car.